I will be at the meeting, yes.
You will be at the meeting.
I don't know who else will be there, but I will be. I know some other staff members will be there, yes.
Of course, I'll be there, and these are town meetings that Lila Fujimoto from the Maui News has been experiencing, and Wendy Osher, because they're Maui reporters, and our department likes to reach out to the community and speak to the community and have them speak to us firsthand. Now, we understand through the media sources that there's going to be people there, and possibly you, that are going to be focusing their attention on these two missing women, and rightfully so. That's what these community meetings are for, to voice whatever concerns that the press may have or the community. But also, the community association may have interests outside of this. And we want to make sure that those interests are addressed, because we do have a limited amount of time.
Speaking specifically to the persons of interest that you identified, the ex-boyfriend in the Scott case, can you corroborate claims that he's made to Hawaii News Now that he actually volunteered to assist in your interrogation and search efforts?
I can tell you that we did talk to him, we did interview him, and yes, he did volunteer and cooperate to that extent.
Is it true that he passed or failed the polygraph?
I'm not going to go into specific details of what was said or what happened during the interview. It could jeopardize the investigation. Right at this point in time, it's going to be kept to us at this point.
And speaking to the evidence collection, at least what we've been told, and again, this is not coming officially from you guys, so if this is a rumor, this would be your opportunity to tell us otherwise. Some of the evidence collected included packing tape, teeth, blood on the clothing, even maggots in some of the clothing that was discovered that has been identified as belonging to Scott. What would it take for evidence to change status from, again, missing person to suspecting foul play?
We would have to have evidence that connects either missing person with that clothing or with that evidence that was collected. Beyond just someone saying that's the similar type of clothing or that's the type of clothing. So yes, we're in the process of having evidence that we recovered, processed, so that we can get that information. And once that information comes out, then we will come out and mention a change in the classification of the investigation. It was assigned to a detective who had a previous scheduled extradition to the mainland. So it's not uncommon for a detective to get the initial case and another detective who's assisting to take over the case. And so, because if the detective left, there'll be a couple of days that nothing's being done. So in this case, another detective is assigned, or assisting detective takes over the lead case and continues on. He was part of everything. He was part of everything from the beginning.
And was he briefed?
He was briefed. His lieutenant is right here.
He was part of the investigation from the very start. When the initial detective Lou went on his trip, Detective Satterfield stepped right up and filled in that position. He was a secondary the entire time.
Basically, what they can do is help solicit information, credible information that and like I said, we'll check on any information that is, or tip that is provided to us, whether it goes to search in a certain area, whether it's to contact someone else. If they know of persons, or they can get to the community. Some people are afraid or unwilling to come forward or give that information, yet they still hold on to it. If they know someone in the community that can give this information or is willing to give them, they want to meet with us, we're more than willing to meet with them. I understand they're conducting searches, which is great. I understand that the family is pushing this and is involved in that, and the community is rallying around that. And that's something that we realize is going to happen. We just want to make sure that they know if they find something, contact us. Don't move it. Don't change it. It may change the evidentiary value of that item. Call us. We'll come out at any time to make sure we can recover that evidence. So that's what we want to say.
And we've obviously been focusing a lot on the Scott case. It was actually our understanding that this press conference was specific to that. But since you mentioned Monsalve and the ongoing efforts, are you still in touch with Bernard Brown, who, as of today, we understand is a person of interest in that case?
He's a person of interest. We know that he has left the island. At this point, and we know we got some information or some criticism for allowing him to leave. At this time, we had nothing to keep him here. Again, he has rights like everyone else. We had nothing to keep him here, so he left the island. And I'm sure if we need to get in touch with him, we can get in touch with him.
So are you saying you're not currently in touch with him?
At this time, no, we're not.
Are you still actively searching for Mo?
We're actively, both cases are open. It's just not because the Scott case came about that we kind of left with the Monsalve case. Both cases are actively being investigated and will always be open until we can get some kind of resolution for the families.
Isn't it frustrating for you folks? The families are going through one thing, but you folks, what are you folks doing?
Well, I think for us, the frustration pales in comparison to what the family goes through. So when we realize that there's a family out there, a loved one of a family that is missing, that what the family is going through, we take that to heart, and we're doing everything we can to help close this case, to help find closure, to locate both women. Well, that's again part. I can respond to that by saying there are certain rules of evidence, rules of law we have to abide by. So we just can't go busting into people's houses and start searching.
After they have vacated the house, you cannot search the property?
Again, there's rules of law that pertain to renters that we must follow.
So is your answer no? You did
We did not. No. Yes, I can say
did
that.
not
Yeah.
search
Yeah.
this house. And did you interview the neighbors?
I believe all the neighbors were interviewed.
Neighbors that said the search?
I can tell you the Bearcat would not have been used in this search.
And could you tell me why?
It's not conducive to this kind of search we're doing.
And that's a tactical piece of equipment that has no really relevance for this searching investigation. And that is used primarily for critical incidents that involve possible hostilities. So it didn't.
So you say it's not
Like a request of them?
I wouldn't say they're impeding. Again, when you have the more eyes, the more people out there searching, it's best. We're not organizing this due to some, there's some liability issues, obviously, that we would have to come across. But they need, what I would tell them is, be careful if you find something, again, don't touch it, let it stay where it lies, contact us. If you're not sure if it's something of interest or something of value to the investigation, call us anyway. Let us determine that. And rather than picking it up and taking it to another location and then calling us.
number?
I'm sorry?
Or, whom to call? Or
You can call us at the Maui Police Department, Criminal Investigation Division, 244-6425.
6425?
Correct.
Captain,
Or dispatch. I'm sorry.
I know that you mentioned that the two cases, they're similar, but you don't believe they're connected.
Correct.
Have you ruled out the possibility of a serial killer?
Yes. We pretty much, none of the evidence that we have points to or indicates or suggests someone's serial cases or the connection.
Can you talk about the clothes that were discovered in the Scott case? Was there any material on it, whether it be blood, hair, or other substance that is not hers?
Well, at this point, we don't have that information right now. The evidence is being, or those materials are being processed at this time.
And how long does it take to process?
Well, it'll be processed in-house here and get ready to be sent to a laboratory for further testing.
Will that make the distinction on whether or not you
Well, the-
change defining this as a missing person?
Hopefully that will give us more information now to go forward and whether or not to reclassify this case.
The area that should be focused on?
I'm not saying not to look at any one area. I mean, obviously when someone's missing, anywhere could be the location. So I wouldn't say, avoid this area. I would say avoid dangerous areas. I don't want to have our personnel or the fire department have to go and rescue people who put their lives on the line or make things a little worse because they're out there, scaling mountains or what have you. But as far as an area not to check, that's pretty much where they can check safely. Is that's up to them.
Signal?
I can tell you that there's some technology being utilized, but because of the type of investigation, I'd rather not go into the details of those technology right now.
Just updating them.
When things come up, new items, we have, our detectives are in touch with at least one family member. Now, that's because we can't afford to brief every family member that contacts us, as well as a Monsalve case. So we're in contact with at least one family member to make sure that they're aware of what we're doing or what we are finding out, what we're discovering, and to pass that information along to them, hopefully before the media or rumors get out to them. So that's why we're trying to head that off at the pass, is trying to keep them aware of what's going on. I think we pretty much, it's pretty much we're doing the textbook checklist investigations for these missing persons. It's just a matter of putting resources to both of them, which we're doing. Regardless of both cases, we have the resources to investigate both at one time. Nothing has surprised me. In a case like this, we understand and we expect the frustration from the family, especially as time goes by. And we share that frustration, but we have to keep moving on. We have to keep investigating and following our leads and conducting our searches. And I would like to say that I especially thank our special response team, who brought out, again, 20-something members to conduct searches over this past weekend, and other searches up at White Poly Road, and other our PIO who's kind of taken a lot of the hit from the media and from the public, because he's out there doing that for us as we're focusing our efforts on the investigation part. So,
Are canines involved in any of the two searches?
canines were involved in I believe, the White Poly Road search.
Tommy Russo, Maui Time. Other than a half a day's worth of detective work, when would you say the last time Maui PD solved a murder case?
Last year, yes, in Molokai. Anything else?
Next question, any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. That concludes this particular conference. Of course, there's always a possibility that we'll have one in the very near future, at which time we will notify you. We want to thank you for coming here and for asking the questions that needed to be answered, and hopefully we did. And if there's anything that we can do for you, please contact us through our community relations, our public information officer, who is Lieutenant Joe Wan. Thank you very much.